Welcome to Lounge TV. I'm Larry, and today we're doing a chilling and grilling. It's been a while since I've done one, hasn't it, Tom?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So we're making kind of my own version of Tuscan chicken. So what you're going to need for this recipe, guys, is some extra virgin olive oil, some salt and some pepper, some butter, some baby spinach. I'm sorry, I always revert back to Popeye. You need some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I would show you the actual cheese, but I already grated it, so I can't do that. Some heavy whipping cream, some basil. If you have fresh basil, that's better. We're going to use tricolor rotini. You can use basically anything you want to, any kind of pasta you want to, okay? And about a little over a pound of chicken tenders that we're going to use in this. Now, like I said, if you have fresh parsley, if you want to use garlic, you can use garlic. We can't use garlic because Tom can't have garlic. If you want to use onions, you can do onions. Tom can't have onions. You know, you're a pain, Tom.
I realize that. I wish I wasn't.
Somebody wanted to know, who in the world can't eat garlic? What is the name of that diet?
Low FODMAP.
Low FOD, F-O-D?
Yeah.
M-A-P?
Yeah.
Low FODMAP. That's what he's on, guys. So certain things trigger him with what he has.
And even then, I'm on like a looser version of it now.
Yeah.
That I know things that
you
work
on real
and things that don't.
But garlic is one of those things.
Garlic is one of those things, if I have too much of it, it does not end well.
Right. Same thing with onions.
Same with onions.
Yeah, so this is what we're going to make. It's really delicious. We've had it already. I want to show you how to do it. It's really a fast kind of meal. First thing you want to do is get some water boiling on a stove there. Don't forget to salt it too. For these to go in. That's probably the longest part of this whole thing is that. So, oh, and by the way, this chicken just came out of the freezer. Hello? Did you hear that?
Yes, it's the sound of you knocking on the chicken.
Yeah. I want to knock on them chicken sometimes. Anyway, you want to defrost that first. Or if you don't have frozen chicken, then of course you can just cut it up, and I'm going to be cutting it up into little pieces like this, but I'm going to put it in the microwave and defrost it. Turn the camera back on. We'll go over all the stuff when we're ready to put it in the pan and start cooking. So we have it to a boil, guys. So now I can put in but just follow directions on the box. That's all you got to do with this stuff. I'm going to pour the whole box in there, and then I'm going to give it a stir. Cook it uncovered. And this calls for 9 minutes to get it tender. And there, we let it go. Every once in a while, give it a little stir in case they're sticking down there. One more thing, I decided I'm going to add a little parsley to the chicken also. Because parsley and chicken, they kind of go together, you know? Just a little bit for seasoning, because normally I would put like Montreal chicken seasoning on it, but Tom can't have that, so...
Garlic and onion.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a little parsley on there. And we got a couple minutes to go for our chicken before that's defrosted. And then we can cut that up and get that going. The pasta is done. I mean, would you like to taste it, Tom?
It's probably really hot.
That's okay. Open up.
No.
Open up.
No.
Open up.
I'm good.
You want to taste it? You know you want it.
It's very hot.
All right, we're gonna taste
a bit.
We're gonna taste it just to make sure. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna turn the flame off. Get another pot holder.
Rude.
And what I'm going to do now, guys, is just... I'm going to kind of like that, and just leave it like that. Okay? Now...
Wouldn't this still be partially in the water, like still be cooking though, and it'll just get softer?
Nah, it's going to be fine. There's not really in the water. Out of the water. You see him in the water? You see any water?
No, but there's like a...
Well, put your face in there, Tom. See if there's any water.
You're weird.
You're weird. All right, so...
Put your face in the boiling pasta.
Next step is to cook the chicken. So, I have the chicken in the pan, so now I'm going to turn it on. Oops, make sure it lights. Put it on medium. I coated oil, about 2 tablespoons of oil, of the extra virgin olive oil. And now I'm going to take my salt and my pepper. And take care of this. Now, as you can see, it's already partially cooked, and that's because I put it in the microwave because it was frozen. I'm going to give it a nice healthy amount of pepper, because Tom can have that. Right, Tom?
Yep.
And then I'm going to sprinkle some parsley on it to get that going. There we go. We're going to get that going, guys. And then when that chicken's completely cooked, then we will get to the next step. So flip it over, guys, when one side's done, and then you want to season the other side too. Make sure you have seasoning all over it. There we go. Perfect. They're done now, guys, and you know they're done when you can sit there with a little rubber thing like this and cut them in half, you know? Yeah, so now you can just turn off the heat. You're only going to turn it off for a little bit here. And then you're going to take these and you're going to set them aside. I have paper towels on top of a paper plate, and I'm just going to put them on there. Kind of helps drain all that oil off there, and you're just going to let that sit on the side until you're ready for them. And then we'll go to the next step. So the next step is you want 3 tablespoons of butter. And just put that in your pan. I want to turn that back on now. You want to put that on medium. Let that butter melt in there. La da da. I'm melting. I'm melting.
It's quite a bit of butter.
It's slippy too. Look at that.
Well, it's butter.
Slippy butter. Oh, butter's good though. Butter is delicious. I love butter.
It's good enough for restaurants, it's good enough for us.
That's right. So we're going to let that go, let that melt, and then we will put in our spinach. The butter now is all nice and melted. So now we're going to put about 3 cups of spinach in, guys. And we're going to let that go. Make sure it gets all that butter on there, that good stuff. We're going to let that go until it gets wilted. I'm going to move it around a lot because I wanted to get it all coated in butter. Spinach is very good for you. Tom, you use spinach all the time, don't you?
Kind of more
your omelets,
recently.
right? You cook yourself
Scrambled
omelets.
eggs.
Or scrambled eggs. He uses spinach in his scrambled eggs, yeah. And it's good, isn't it?
It is.
Doesn't have a real strong flavor.
No, it has a little bit of texture, whereas otherwise it would just be scrambled egg mush.
Yes, exactly. So as you can see, it's wilting pretty good now. It's not all the way wilted, but it's getting there. It's funny because the whole pan was full before. It's amazing how much it just kind of like shrivels up.
If all the water inside just evaporates.
Just like us old people, we just shrivel up when we get older. Shrivel.
I mean, if it runs by the same principle, then just drink more water.
It doesn't run by the same principle.
Well, then don't compare it.
So all the cells are dying.
They're not compatible.
Alright, so it's getting nice and wilted now.
I'd say so.
Would you say so, Tom? You know, it's very important what you say.
I agree.
Yes. So now we're going to put in our heavy cream, which is about 1/2 cup. Whew, thank goodness I got this. It was really heavy. Well, I don't even get a chuckle out of you.
I'm out of here.
Put your heavy cream in. Now we have a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. We're going to put that in. And I have 2 teaspoons of ground basil. I'm going to spread that around there. Get that all mixed in there. Get that going. Delicious. Now you could put your cherry tomatoes in. You would have put them in before the spinach and cooked them before you actually put the spinach in, because spinach doesn't take any time at all.
There be cherry tomatoes in this?
Yeah, you can put cherry tomatoes in it, yeah. And like I said, the garlic you would cook before you even did anything. Like, well, no, after the chicken, but before you put in the spinach also.
So you cook the chicken, saute the garlic.
Then you could add the tomatoes then after that, after the garlic, and then like I said, the last thing that you would do is going to be put the cheese and the cream in, and get that all. Let that simmer now. I'm going to turn that down a little bit to low. I'm going to let that simmer for about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and then I will put the chicken back in. And then we are just about done. Now we can pour or not pour, but put the chicken back in.
I'd say that's a pour.
Mix that all up in there, get all that goodness all over all this stuff. Now if you wanted more sauce than this, of course just, you can double everything up. Whatever you wanted to do. There we go. Get that in there and let that get a little bit warm, about a minute. And then we'll go to the next one.
Speaking of more cream.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit more cream in there because I want a little bit more liquid. So I'm just going to pour some in there.
We like it to sauce.
Yeah, we like it as sauce. And don't forget, this is really a recipe for 1 pound of pasta. And I actually cooked 2 pounds of pasta. So I'm just going to put in some more cream just to kind of make it nice and plentiful and creamy. We'll let that go. I'm going to stir that all up. Let that go for about a minute, like I said, and then we will pour it over the pasta and serve.
Heck yeah.
There we go. We'll let that simmer now for about a minute or 2. So we are done. Make sure it gets back up to temperature, guys, if you add more cream in there. So it took a little bit more than 2 minutes, but let me carry this with my other hand. All right, so now what I want to do is just pour this over top of my pasta, like so. Get all that goodness in there. Okay, put this over here. Then you just want to stir that all in there, guys. Really, this meal, Tom knows, it was really fast.
Yeah.
Especially for a chilling and growing, because sometimes the chilling and growing takes a lot longer than we expect it to. Especially because we measure things out and everything like that, and set it aside to start out and everything. All right, so let me grab a plate here. Plate it up. Get off of their spinach. Okay, it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Get a couple more in there. Like so. Now if you had some fresh basil, you can put that on, and like I said, if you had I'm just gonna make a little plate of it. If you had tomatoes, then you have that red in there. That is
a little bit of color variety.
Yeah. So let me burn my tongue now. I just want to get a little bit of everything in there. Delicious. And it's really fast to make too, guys. That's what I'm saying. Let me grab something real quick. Try this meal out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You can use shrimp instead of chicken if you want to. That's what we did the first time. It was delicious. Yeah, there you go. Uncle Larry's version of Tuscan chicken, Tom style. Till next time, grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up, relax. I'll meet you at the lounge.